So recently, it seems like players are taking a sort of shortcut to gaining a higher rank in Overwatch. I'd like to go over what this strategy is, because it's, well, quite frankly, very simple, and if it's something you should consider if you want a higher ranked account. Previously, the main thought for getting a higher ranking was, just try to improve the game, ignore trolls, deal with bad teammates as much as possible, and just stick with it, and then you'll rank up. But some players seem to be thinking that takes too long, and they want to do it faster. So what they're doing is quite simply buying a new account. Now, it's interesting because theoretically, if Overwatch is working right and you buy a new account, you should get ranked the same as your old rank and nothing would change. But I'd say there's enough players claiming that this exists to believe it. There's enough players saying that this has occurred to them that I do think it is true, at least for some people. So I'd like to go over why this actually occurs and how it isn't all it's cracked up to be. So if you're below gold right now, basically all creating a new account will do is put you at gold. Why is this? Well, when you make a new account, the game doesn't really know what rank you should be at. You have a little bit of quick play MMR that they can use, but generally speaking, they're going to put you at about a gold level on your first placement game. So if you were below gold before, you're already just gaining free SR basically. But some people claim to be like going from plat to diamond. So how are they doing this if they're starting lower than they were before? Well, the key is, the biggest reason players are getting higher ranks than they used to have is because placement games are weighted insanely heavily. When you play a placement game and you win it, your MMR is going up a ton. Basically, if you had an SR during your placement games, it would change a ton for wins and a ton for losses. Let me give you an example. If you're a gold player and you get 10 wins, there's a chance you are literally still in gold, maybe low plat, but you're in that range somewhere. If you're, starting at gold though with your placements and you win all 10 placements, you're probably going to place into masters. Now, this only actually occurs for new accounts. For accounts that already exist at the beginning of seasons, basically placements mean nothing. We're not talking about that. New accounts, though, they mean a ton because Blizzard wants to put you at a good spot, and it can't do that without giving you a lot of SR for wins and losses in your first 10 games. What this means is if you get lucky and get some teams that carry you, you could potentially rank a lot higher than you would have before. Honestly, depending on how it all plays out, just being lucky and winning 2 more games than you would have before can change the place you place at by quite a large margin, maybe even an entire, skill rating. You might go from diamond to master, something like that. So if you want a higher ranked account, this can help you. But now I'd like to talk about why this isn't the greatest thing in the world and why you may want to, just save your money. When you're placed at a rank higher than you deserve, you're probably going to lose a lot of games. And losing a lot of games, even if you're at a higher rank, isn't as fun as winning them at a lower rank. I do believe that. If you're a bronze player and you're winning 50% of games, that is better than losing 90% of games at Masters. Trust me, winning more is going to be more fun in the long run, so already you may not be having as much fun. Some players claim they actually can maintain these ranks though they get after a new account, and they claim it's because they deserve the rank, and sometimes that may be true, but the real case here most of the time is not that they deserve the new rank, but actually that maintaining your rank is much easier than gaining rank. Overwatch tries to make every game even. And while it doesn't do the best job at that, a lot of games feel skewed, it does do one thing well. Most of the time, the games skewed in your favor and the games skewed in the enemy team's favor are pretty equal. So if you get 2 games in a day where the enemy team stomped you, you'll usually get 2 where you stomped the enemy team. Just statistically speaking, that's how it works. So if you play a non-impact hero or just a hero you're solid at but not great at, theoretically, you should hover around a 50% win rate and maintain your rank. What furthers this is the fact that accounts that aren't diamond don't actually decay. So you could get that account to a very high rank and then just literally never play and, well, you'll maintain your rank. Or if you play a game every other day, you're never going to lose enough to actually lose your rank. So it does skew the system up a little bit. I'd be curious to see if there's any more data behind this from Blizzard and other things. If you're someone who truly believes you deserve a higher rank, this actually is something you might want to try. There's a good chance you get a higher rank. There is a chance you do not, so remember that, and does cost money if you're on PC. And remember, even if you do get a higher rank, you might not deserve it, and you might just lose a lot. So a lot of information for you there. Tell me what you guys think about this, if you think it's fair, not fair, if it works, it doesn't work. I'd love to hear your opinions, and I'll see you guys all later. Have a good one. Lone Hawk out.